Since the IDF is getting deeper and deeper into Gaza, what is the next stage of this war? From what you're sounding like, it sounds like it's nearing the end. Is that a fair assessment?
I think major operations, the way that we have seen over the last nearly 3 months, are likely nearing completion, certainly in the northern part of Gaza. I don't think we're nearing the end of major military operations in the south and central Gaza, at least for a few more weeks. We may see that start winding down by the end of this month, at some point in February. But the Israelis have also made clear that they expect a very long term campaign in that south and central Gaza areas. Once they're done clearing and preparing the battlefields and moving their forces in, they're going to be spending a lot of times with special operations forces, commandos, surgical operations, and strikes, still hunting down all those leaders that will be trying to move around and evade and escape Israeli capture operations. And so I think the Israelis are preparing for a months long stay and continued lower scale, lower intensity fighting in the south and center of Gaza. The north will likely return to some sort of quiet. There will still be anti tunneling operations, but at some point we may even see populations that have moved south during the war start moving back to their homes in the north.
I do now want to circle back to that top Hamas leader who was killed in Beirut earlier this week. Israel has not officially claimed responsibility for that, but are there concerns that this will escalate the war, that there will be a wider scale conflict in the Middle East?
Well, it's interesting that Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, had given a big speech a few weeks ago in which he threatened big retaliation against Israel if Israel had attacked inside Lebanese territory the way we saw with this strike. And in fact, this was a Hezbollah site that was attacked, but it was a surgical strike from all the pictures and readouts that we've seen, really pinpointed to this Hamas leader and other Hamas leaders accompanying him. And the Israelis have publicly said that even though they're not going to confirm it was them, it was obviously them, that anybody who was behind it, as a spokesperson said, was targeting Hamas, not Hezbollah. Now, that same Hezbollah leader, Hassan Nasrallah, gave another speech this week, and he could have used that as an opportunity to say, we are going to retaliate now and going to escalate the war against Israel from the north. He didn't do that. It was sort of a stepping back from the brink once again, a punting of a major confrontation with Israel, now saying only if there was a major military operation against Lebanese territory by Israel would Hezbollah retaliate in a much larger way. Now, we may be heading toward that end state anyways. Israel has signaled that it will not tolerate Hezbollah remaining militarily armed near its border ever again. That right now it's focused on clearing Hamas out of Gaza so that it can return communities in the south of Israel to the border areas of Gaza that have all been evacuated. They're also going to have to deal with the evacuated communities in northern Israel, who will not return to that border until Hezbollah is pushed away from it. Now, what exactly Israel will demand of Hezbollah is not yet clear. We've heard some reports that say they want to see Hezbollah militarily disarmed and moved all the way north of the Litani River. That's some 20 miles plus north of Israel. There is a Security Council resolution that demanded that back in 2006. It's never been enforced. We've also, though, seen some reports of Israelis saying, well, 5 or 6 miles north of the border would be enough for us to be able to return communities back to that border area. So we're going to have to wait and see what exactly is the Israeli bottom line for their security in the north. When are they willing to enforce that bottom line? Will any political diplomacy work to get Hezbollah to move on its own? I don't think so. I'm pretty doubtful on that. I think we will see military action of some kind. The question is it limited military action just across the border of Israel, trying to move Hezbollah north 5 or 6 miles? Or is it a major military operation aimed at removing all of Hezbollah's military infrastructure south of the Litani River?